recording the video. So for those who missed last week's video or the last show, I'm now doing it. Here we go. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 791. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. You can leave me a voicemail message on Skype. The name is Mike Tech Show, all one word. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mike Tech Show, and also facebook.com/Mike Tech Show. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call, robust remote support for IT pros and MSPs, providing you unattended and on-demand remote access. Try it free for 15 days by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com or go directly to instanthouseCall.com. And don't forget to use the promo code MikeTechShow for that free 15-day trial. As a matter of fact, as we talk right now, I am monitoring a very, very important backup that is going to take a long time tonight, and I have that running. I have Instant House Call minimized. I'm using SyncBack Free, backing up a huge directory. I've stopped the SQL services. I've stopped the main program, which is the dental software that I'm going to be upgrading, and I'm doing a file-by-file backup right now. That's going to finish in a couple hours. Then I'm going to kick off a full backup of Shadow Protect because I've paused the nightly Shadow Protects. And then I'm really glad after this is upgraded tomorrow, we're going to do Magnus Box. So now he's going to be in the cloud. So we got local, cloud, we're covered. And then I'll be monitoring all the backups. So tonight's show, I got so much to talk about. Outlook diagnostic steps. Going to go over a little problem, but in there is the process for learning how to properly diagnose problems. And Cyber Joe in the chat, yes, he guessed it. That is the software I am updating tomorrow. Then Taz, our moderator, Mike Cooley, has sent me a link to 30 useful websites. This link is so good that it made me change the content for tonight's show. This, I got to get into your hands. There are some great sites. I can't wait. There's a couple I've sampled and I'm going to demonstrate tonight that I just love. Then my Comcast story, my Microsoft activation story, and then we got listener email. So let's get going. Got a lot to cover. So my client calls, this is a couple weeks ago, and he can send one email, but every time, and this is Outlook 365, every time he goes to send the second email when he started, Outlook stops responding. And this is repeatable. We kill it, and it stops. He lives in Outlook. I get the panic phone call, and I log in, and the first thing I do is the way it looked like I should do a repair. And I did a quick repair. No joy. Same problem. Sent the first email, second email, and this is very repeatable. So now I launch in safe mode, and we test. So safe mode is outlook.exe in the search bar, / and the word safe. What that does, it launches Outlook and suppresses all the add-ins. Even though they're checked and they're available, they do not load in safe mode. Everything worked perfectly. So that means it's an add-in that is killing Outlook. So I go to the apps in the Windows settings and search by last install date. And bingo, his HubSpot add-in was updated the day before. And this is when all the problems start. So I go back into safe mode, and then I go File, Options, Add-ins, Manager, the Manage Com add-ins, and there's a Go. Click that. I uncheck HubSpot. Click OK. Back my way out. Restart in regular mode. Everything's good. We are still waiting for, there has to be an update on HubSpot for this add-in. There was an update, and right now he reported it, and we have, a ticket with HubSpot, and we got to get to whatever the fix is going to be. So it's clearly the add-in. It's killing it. And I wanted to go over that process. I always go to a quick repair where you go to apps, you go to Office, you go modify and do a quick repair. Sometimes you can even do the full repair. But a lot of times that quick repair gets us out of danger, fixes the problem. No joy on this one. So that's when you go to safe mode. And then I was lucky it was an add-in. So just wanted to give some quick diagnostics procedure that I go through when someone has an Outlook problem. Now, while we're talking about Outlook real quick, this is such a little thing that made me look like a hero. This is the new client. We migrated their email, and they called with a problem where I didn't know that the person who went on maternity leave, her email was not forwarding to someone else. And they advertised that email, that individual's email, that's who you report problems to. And I'm like, no. Let's create a distribution list, support at, tell me multiple people who can get it, and you're covered. And then advertise support, not a person. And it was so simple of a solution, but yet went over so well. It was great. And I felt really good. They were just beyond happy with such a clever solution. And I'm like, boy, we're looking so good from their past IT company. And I am very, very happy with that. But I wanted to share just sometimes it's little things that are creative that can really make you look so good with your client. And you don't want to let those opportunities fall through, and recommend them. So that was cool. Now, I must share my Comcast support story from today. So the client has a problem where the Comcast modem is just spontaneously rebooting. It did it a few times on Friday, did it Monday. I asked them to email me their bill, and I was on the phone this morning, and I was losing it. Here's irony one. I'm calling Comcast about this modem that spontaneously reboots. And what do they want to do? I can't speak to a human until they reboot the modem. I'm like, no. Then I call and I ask for billing. That wasn't good because see, tech support, they want to reboot the modem. Billing, I figured I'll get a human. And I did. I got a human, and I said, please transfer me to tech support so I don't have to reboot the modem. No. They start the transfer, and then I'm dropped. This happened twice. I'm an hour and a half into this, and I can't get to a human being. Irony number 2. no matter what path I pick, you have to listen to 5 minutes of Comcast announcing and listing all of the customer service and awards and patting themselves on the back for their success before you can continue. I'm not making this up. Finally, and this is the magic, you must, if you have only an internet problem, you say it's a phone problem. I got to a human being faster by claiming the phone problem, and he was actually able to help me. And it was much faster. So you have to lie. And then I can't take credit for that. That was my son who made that suggestion, who happens to be ex-Comcast. And now I'm finally got a human. They do a truck roll and for replacing the modem. I make sure they have my cell phone number. I'm like, please, please, please call me. Have the tech call me. Now, I get a text message that the tech will be arriving on time. And this is 2 p.m. Eastern time today. Then I get a text that he's there. I'm like, okay. I call and I leave a message because if the phone's bouncing, if the modem's bouncing, they lose their VoIP phones. That's how they notice that the Comcast modem is rebooting. So now they don't call me. I want to be able to, the minute that the modem is set up and replaced, I want to make sure all those network settings we have that are in there are changed. Interesting that they don't call me back. I call, and then what I do is I go in and because he already left and replaced the modem. They said he was a nice guy. This just doesn't happen in my area for a Comcast tech. He backed up the settings for the modem and restored them to the new modem. Now, I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that this fixed the problem, but I thought that was very, very interesting that he actually did that. And I'm not used to that. I'm not used to a really good tech on site. So very, very happy. And that was Brian, who I've never talked to. And thank you for taking care of my client. And let's hope that this is resolved. Real quick, had to activate an Office 2019 Professional Plus with a phone activation. And the key wouldn't activate over the regular internet activation. So I dialed the 800 number and I was on my iPhone. This is the first time that I've ever been presented with this. They asked me if I have a smartphone, and I'm like, yes. We will text you a link and you can continue from there, and you don't have to read the 9 sets of 7-digit numbers. And then they go through, they ask you a question, and then they give you the 9 sets back. Once I got that, I confirmed I got it. I hung up. It asked me how many digits are there within the sets, and I said 7. And then I get a link that it opens up my browser on my iPhone, and Brave is my default browser. And I'm presented with all of the 9 boxes, and I just put all the numbers in. I click submit. It asked me how many activations prior to this, and that was 0. I submit. Okay, you're good. Here are the 9 sets right back. This was way more efficient than speaking the numbers and entering the numbers on a keypad, which is how I've used to always do any kind of a phone activation with Microsoft. This shortens the time. It's very efficient, and I am very, very glad that Microsoft has embraced the smartphone. And sometimes I do it from my landline or my VoIP phone here. Don't do that. Use the smartphone. Awesome. That was very, very good. So I want to talk about these 30 sites that Mike Cooley sent me, and I'm putting the link into the chat, and this is one that you want to bookmark. 30 insanely useful websites that'll come in handy someday, and we're going to do a quick review. The first two is student.com. If you're looking for cheap accommodations as an international student, Inner Body, among other resources. This is, a site that offers an interactive guide to human anatomy. Number 3, Clean PNG. This website provides free, high-quality PNG images without a background. It's millions of PNGs on offer work for brochures, banners, websites, and more. The unlimited free downloads with no registration or hoops to go through. Love it. Pixlr. You can edit pictures right in your browser. Pixabay. Sites like Shutterstock are too expensive for most casual users. Pixabay is a much more suitable option. It offers over 2 million royalty-free images. This next one is the one that intrigues me the most and is absolutely at the top of my list to start using. And this is PrivNote. You can send a note that self-destructs after it's read. This is a great way if you need more privacy than an email to send sensitive information. It offers a few options that lets you set when the message will delete. You can add a password for more protection and receive an email after it's destroyed. We're Mission Impossible here with a note. You could send a note and have it self-destruct. I am playing with that. I just got this link today, so I haven't had a chance. I've been so busy. That's the top of the list to test. Skyscanner. Who doesn't want to save money when traveling? Skyscanner is a must-know website when booking a flight. I am absolutely going to do that as I go back and forth from Florida to Pennsylvania. Spotahome. It's a website that offers a service for anyone looking to rent an apartment or home for a mid or long-term period. Down for everyone or just me? I've used this site. Is the website just down for you, or is it really down for everybody? And this tests whether it's really down or not. I've used that a lot. Bachelor studies. Website finds a bachelor's program or degree according to your preference. The next one, we use this all the time. I use this almost every day. I used it today for setting up a new laptop. Ninite. N-I-N-I-T-E. This saves you so much time. Any new system, that's the first software we run on it. And we load Chrome and Firefox because Edge is already built in. We also load, 7-zip. It is phenomenal. This is what you want. All right. Let's see. Next. Lucid Chart. An easy-to-use website that converts your data into a neat diagram. It's a great way to make flow charts, task flows, and even wireframes. So, gotta try that. Eat this much. Put your diet on autopilot. Just watch. I've tested this. All your streaming services in one app. You can type a movie or a show. It'll tell you where it's streaming and how much it'll cost. Very nice. How long to beat. Video gamers can take a long time to complete video games. So you might want to check the time commitment before you start one. How long to beat makes that easy. Just search for a game and you'll see how long it takes for different play styles. Diff Checker. Now, I used to use a program that was called something else, not Diff Checker, but this is a way to find out when someone else makes changes in a document. So if you need to compare two documents, it'll highlight the changes if you want them to be exact. Dillinger. It's an online markdown editor that's also mobile friendly. This service lets you save to add import from cloud services. When you're done, you can export as HTML or even as a PDF. Also supports autosave, dragging and dropping images, and more handy features. This next one I don't talk about, and I don't know why, because I use this all the time. Fast.com. That's the site that you want to use instead of speedtest.net. Go to fast.com. It's clean. There's no junk. There's no ads. And you get a really good test of your internet download speed. Dictation.io lets you dictate your emails and documents. Flight Stats. Now, I always use the app for American Airlines or Southwest, or if I'm traveling, whatever airline, I use their app. This is a generic that you can track the status of flights even while they're in the air. It'll tell you exactly where it's at. Every time zone. This is so you can figure out what time zone. And I think, it's interesting with the Olympics, you can take a look, especially on the weekend. Well, what time is it in Tokyo? This is a quick glance at your current time from your time zone, and all the other time zones, you can see exactly what time. And if it's a different day, it'll show you, it's tomorrow morning in Australia, PDF Escape. This is interesting. An online PDF editor to let you easily tweak a PDF without any extra software. Interesting if you need to save a little money and not buy the full version of Adobe. Me, I have to, because some of the features that I need that I can only get in the full version of Adobe. So I am stuck at paying $14.95 a month for the rest of my life. Infogram. The website lets you create stunning infographics as well as charts, reports, and social media visuals. Okay. Alternative to. I used this today. I wanted to know what alternatives are listed for Outlook. I kind of knew some, Thunderbird, and there was a couple that were really, really nice. Alternative to, you put the main app and it will list alternatives to that app. So let's say it's a real expensive app. Well, what's a good alternative that might be free? Very cool. Jitsi Meet. Start enjoying meetings for free. Absolutely. Random.org. Next time you need to run a random event like rolling a die, flipping a coin, or picking a random number between two values. There's lots of those sites, but that's kind of cool. Squoosh. Next time you need to compress an image, you don't have to open an image editor and do it yourself. Instead, try Squoosh, which offers a simple web interface for reducing the size of images. Name check. If you're thinking about changing your username on various internet services, you should consult the useful site Namecheck first. It lets you enter any username and then see the services where that name is still available. Manuals library. If you need a manual, that's the place. And I've used that. Cloud Convert. You likely need to convert a file to a different format at some point. When you do, head to this useful website, Cloud Convert. So if you got to go to PNG to BMP. Now, I use OrphanView all the time for any graphics. I use DB PowerAmp if I'm going from any audio format to any other. I'm still stuck in that hard desktop program world when I'm doing those kind of conversions and I don't use the cloud too much. But these are great options. That was the last one. I just reviewed 30 websites. Now, of course, you're not going to need them all, but there are some really cool websites within that list. And hopefully you'll find 4 or 5 that you'll regularly use if you haven't heard that these exist. So that was very, very good. Thank you, Taz, for that link. I appreciate it greatly. And now let's get to email. So, first email. This is from Curtis. While our businesses are quite different like you, I find myself giving computer information and advice to many friends and acquaintances. In podcast 790, you were discussing getting access to USB ports. Like you, my desktop's computer ports on the rear panel aren't conveniently located, and I dread having to crawl down there. Oh yeah. I seem to be always looking for an available port to connect this or that. So this is what I did. I purchased, and I'll have the Amazon link if I can get it converted. It's a TP-Link UH720 USB 3 7-port hub with 2 charging ports. I glued a couple of super strong magnets to the back side and stuck it on the metal part side of my desk. The 7 normal USB ports point upward at about the height of the desk surface, and the 2 power-only ports, normal USB ports, point upward at about the height of the desk, and 2 power-only ports point towards me. The data cable is connected to a port on the back of my computer, and the power supply is somewhere in the inevitable rat's nest of wires hiding behind my computer. Now I have 7 ports, but here's the problem with that, Curtis, and I love this suggestion. It's that I'm not going to fill a bunch of ports that are now being USB that are now being fed. Now, something that I have to do here, and I've done it in Florida, is a really nice, spend some money on a cord that is a USB 3 extension cable to get to the top of my desk so I can use that. So he likes this, and he tends to keep a 3 to 6 foot mini USB, micro USB, and USB-C cable, 3 individual cables, plugged in all the time just to be able to conveniently plug in any device that needs connecting. I do like that idea. I'm not going to use them all at the same time, but you have each adapter all ready to roll. With those 3 permanently resident cables in place, I still have 4 ports available for a thumb drive, dongle, or something else. I dedicate one of the power-only ports to my battery-dead iPad, which leaves another high-current charging port available, some visiting device that needs a boost. Take a look at this option. I think you'll like it. I do. And thanks for the podcast. I learn something every time I listen. Curtis, thank you so much. I am going to have a device that I am going to review next week. It's arriving tomorrow, and I purchased it. And it's for Apple only. And if you are immersed in an Apple ecosystem where you have the AirPod Pro, a newer iPhone, and an Apple Watch. Yes, I said Apple Watch. If you have all of those things that need charging, then what you'll need to do is take a look at what I'm going to talk about next week. So I'm going to deep dive in a future show why I have a refurbed Apple Watch 5, because of some of the medical things that watch does was near and dear to my heart. A couple things. All right. Next email from Photo Ray. I don't know if he's in the chat tonight. How to record your Twitch streams. So open OBS and select settings. Select broadcast settings from the left and file path. Enter the location you want to save your broadcast. Select automatically save the stream to file and then OK. How to archive Twitch streams. Log into Twitch and select settings. Select channels and videos. Scroll to archive broadcasts and check the box. Twitch will save your broadcasts for 14 days before wiping it. You can export directly to YouTube from your settings menu. PhotoRay is always right there to help me with anything involving the graphics, Twitch. Right, thank you so much, and thank you for that email with those instructions. This is from Michael. Hey, Mike, curious how you provide clients the password for password-protected files you may send them. Very simple. I will text them that, or we have a pre-agreed password. So usually, if it's someone that's the owner of the company or they have a server and they know the admin password, then that's what I'll use. But I'll tell them either on the phone or I'll just text the password with no other text with it. So that's how I get them the password for a password protected document, which I like using Word, password protected. Is that the most foolproof way? Can you break that? Yes. But for quick sending of information that doesn't require a full encrypted email, yes. Encrypted email, nothing replaces that for the best security. But Michael, since you asked, I wanted to let you know. Final email of the night, and this is something that's on my list that I absolutely am going to test. And this is from John Dubinsky. And John writes, hope you're doing well. Not sure if you are still looking or if this is even a good alternative to Evernote, but I stumbled up on it and thought of you. And it's Milanote, MILANOTE.com, and that will also be in tonight's show notes. I am definitely going to look at that. Just on the quick cursory look, it looks interesting. And funny that this came out when Evernote has released a pro version, and it's not a great big difference than the regular personal version that I have. You have unlimited devices. It's still the same sort of storage, which I'm barely tapping at all per month in the usage. It has a feature of multiple calendars. I'm not even using calendar in the one I have now. So they increased, and it's good to see Evernote doing things, and you know, it's a slightly more monthly cost for the pro version. I'm still in there, still hanging in there. I hate the new interface, but I forced myself on one of my laptops that I use for every Wednesday. I'm on site with a client, and I am using Evernote on that laptop, and it's forcing me to use the new interface that I just absolutely hate. Where on my main system here and my main system in Florida, I have the old version of Evernote running, which I never update. That's not too good either. So I figured, let me get used to the new version and then slowly migrate the other to the others. But I am going to look at Milanote. Thank you so much. That is it. So interesting. My son was literally minutes ago at a site where he is kicking off a huge transfer from someone's current system. There is literally 500 gig of data, and he's connected that he took the hard drive out, and he's using Fab's Auto Backup 7 Pro. That is running all night right now. It's migrating and copying, or I should say transferring 500 gig of data from the external drive of his old system to the new system. And then we're going to double back tomorrow, and my son's going to finish up the rest of the things that need to be done. So you need software. We use this every day. Every day. There is also, if you're buying anything, and I'm going to have some links for anything I talk about you can buy from Amazon, go to our link. And I say our because Carrie Holzman and I share this Amazon link, and it's the best way to support the show. You click on that link, it takes you to Amazon. Now add your items to the cart for checking out. We get a small commission. Your price stays the same. No skin off your back, but it helps support the Mike Tech Show. It helps support Tech Vets. It helps support the videos that Carrie does. So anyway, we thank you for your continued support of our Amazon link. We really appreciate it. Just keep pounding it. Save that shortcut. Really appreciate it. And then, of course, we thank Instant House Call for their ongoing and continued support of the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Go check them out at instanthousecall.com. That's it for tonight's show. Everybody have a great week, and hopefully see you back here either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure, so follow me on Facebook and Twitter, or just check out the website at MikeNation.net, and I will update when we're going to do the show next week. So that's it. Stay safe. Have a great week. Bye-bye.